This is the Avalon Mini 3, using only 800 watts of electricity with an input AC electric voltage of 110 to 240 voltage, working on 50 or 60 hertz electricity. What that basically means is it can run anywhere throughout the world on any type of electricity, essentially. Packed with 66 4 nanometer ASIC Bitcoin mining chips, computing out a hash rate of 37.5 terahash a second, generating Bitcoin 24/7, 365 if you're on a BTC mining pool. It's got rubber feet, it's got an intake filter, it's got a power button, it comes with a power cable. Of course it works on Wi-Fi, and it even has this little thing to hold the power cable onto it. The filter is washable or replaceable. It even has a little display screen that will tell you the IP address or its name or what time it is, or you can put a custom picture on there of anything you freaking want. IP22, meeting daily waterproof requirements, a 360-day warranty, including a warranty center in the USA and other places throughout the world. Sucking air in through the bottom of this device and pushing it out the top with the onboard fans. With a focus on encryption, it is built from the ground up to keep this device safe, not compromising your network and your miner, where if it was accessed, if nothing else, they could basically steal your electricity by changing their Bitcoin mining address to their own and no longer yours. What's crazy is that these can also be expanded. They have connectors that you can connect up to 6 of these in tandem. So don't think this just has to be an isolated space heater in the corner of your place. These can also function as a primary heating component in your home or office or garage or whatever you freaking want. 21.3 joules per terahash of efficiency, also known as watts per terahash. The dB rating is 33 to 55 decibels, or simply put, quiet. I can definitely ignore this device on its higher power setting, but when you turn it down to the economical setting and it lowers towards that 33 decibel, it is very quiet. It is, if you like a quiet house, it can still fit in that type of environment. The Mini 3 is a brand new 2025 miner, and that is why it's so efficient, so powerful, and so purpose-built. Also, did you know Canon's not just some new company that popped up overnight? They have been producing Bitcoin miners for years, and they're publicly traded. You can buy the Canaan stock if you want. I just got a heater in that mines Bitcoin. I'm pretty excited. Hey, by the way, I'm Vosk. You're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. This is Cutie Pup Tails Vosk. She owns the channel. I just work here. We got the Canaan Mini 3 in here to review. And so this is my living room. And I love this space that we designed, but these windows make it cold in here in the winter. And we spend some time here on the couch. So what a great location to put a heater. Zone heating is a great way to increase heating efficiency in your home, right? I could make my whole house really warm or just focus on warming up that key area where I am. Enter something to do that. You can buy a space heater and that costs you electricity to run, obviously. But with this Canaan Bitcoin miner that's designed like a baseboard heater, it will earn more than it burns in electricity depending on your rate, which literally means that I will be getting paid to heat my home. I know in a way that can sound like a cheesy sales pitch, but this is the real deal. And for years and continuing moving forward, mining Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies continues to be the best way to earn passive income. Maybe you don't even believe in Bitcoin and crypto. One, well, that's your loss. But two, this is still a great resource of like, why would you ever run a space heater when you could just run a Bitcoin miner that's generating heat and pushing it onto you? This device has a warranty, and of course, like almost everything else, it's produced overseas. Maybe that'll change here in the semi-near future, but they do have warranty centers throughout the world, including in the US of A. So you buy this and you got a problem, you can send it there, they'll repair it or you get a replacement, something like that. We've been using Canaan Bitcoin miners on our farm for many years. And we have their little Nano 3S and the one that came before that, the Nano 3. Now they have this great in between from their full-size Bitcoin miners like the A1500 series, which we also have on the farm, to this unit that mines lately like $80 to $100 of Bitcoin a month. all while heating whatever area you want. And it's designed from the factory to be quiet. And honestly, it looks fine. It looks nice. This isn't an eyesore. I understand that to the right person, a full-size ASIC mining rig, right? An application-specific integrated circuit. These are custom chips inside of custom computer boxes that only mine one mining algorithm. It's a Bitcoin miner. It's big, it's loud, and some people would say it's ugly. I think they look cool. Cool enough. But the bottom line is, this thing is much more everyone else's cup of tea. My initial impressions is it looks good. The box was pretty difficult to get out of the box, a box in a box. It's got a Wi-Fi adapter you've got to take out and plug in. It's like nearly hidden. Make sure you don't miss that and make sure you don't throw that away. It comes with a supplied power cable here. Surprisingly, it's white. It's kind of nice. Hey, Taylor, come here. Hey, Tails, come here. It's okay. This is okay. This is just a power cable. It's okay. It's okay. Anything Tails considers creepy, she doesn't like and she leaves. So when I unravel this and hit the ground, that's in the creepy category. It's nice to see a supplied power cable that's correct. That's actually pretty uncommon in the mining industry. This is correct to my area, right? So this is standard US plug here. 10 amp cable, actually pretty pliable, which is nice. And it's white, which is actually really cool because being a baseboard heater here, it's probably gonna be right next to a white trim. Little dusty, no big deal. Flip this thing over. Anyone will be able to handle and manipulate this, but it is hefty. It is hefty. Power cable. Insert it in. Wall outlet. Insert it in. We heard the power supply activate right there. Wi-Fi connector. Best name we could come up with for this brand was Come Fast. Oh, no. Fitting. All right. Okay, it was beeping there. I clicked it off. I guess this is just to like offer a second security method there on the power supply hookup. Maybe it's a safety feature, so like your kid runs by and they snag this and they don't pull it out. We've got a filter mesh material here on the bottom, right? So that's going to be the intake. That beeping's pretty unenjoyable. It says Bluetooth fail. It stopped beeping. Did it know that it was upside down? The screen's fun. Taylor, you ditching me? Come on. If you think the Canaan Mini 3 and if you've also seen the Canaan Nano 3S are really cool, but you're still kind of on the fence, consider attending Mining Disrupt. We've got a code to get you discounted entry. Canaan is going to be at Mining Disrupt. This is what they're focused on promoting and selling right now. So if you want to see them in person, you want to probably hear them in person, check out Mining Disrupt. To run this, you're going to need to head over to the App Store or the Google Play Store, download Canaan's Avalon Miner app. So I already have this app from running their other miners. It's very quick and easy just to kind of set up and get started. I'm clicking the 3 bars in the top right, new devices, and I'll click on a Mini 3. Now I'm going to search for that device. Just very quickly come up here. I click on it, I click connect, and now I just need to connect it to my Wi-Fi. It's automatically found my Wi-Fi network, Planetary Fortress, and then I will be punching my password in to connect it. Click save. And it looks like it's generating a local IP address for me on the display now. 192.168.7234. So if I punch that into my browser, right, I should be able to access this miner. It's also interesting that this miner has all of these different options. Heater, mining, night. You can even just straight up turn a light on. If you want to schedule the mining time for it, you can set that up here with the timer. As far as the display goes, It can scroll data, you can have it read the time, and you can also upload a custom image here for it. If you're familiar with the Nano 3 and the Nano 3S, you'll go here and you'll go to the pool config and you'll put your information here just like you did before, but it's the mining pool including the stratum plus TCP, your username.worker name or wallet name.worker name, and then in this era pretty much any password like X or 123. After you put that information in, you'll click save. The default password in here is admin. Remember, when you update the mining pool settings, it will reboot. And just like that, you will be heating your home, mining Bitcoin. This thing cost about $800 and it has very good efficiency. It's essentially a mini current generation Bitcoin miner. This device doesn't use that much power. But when I say that, like, what does that really mean? So if you pay 8 cents per kilowatt hour for your electricity, then it would cost you $46 a month to run this. That is the higher estimate of my mining farm. I pay about 7.5 cents on all my miners. In my actual home though, my residential electricity rate is 14 cents per kilowatt hour. I would mine about $66 in Bitcoin over the next month. This makes sense to run just even simply as a miner. I'm clearing 20 bucks over what I earn compared to what I burn in electricity cost. You bump that down to 7 cents, 40 bucks a month to run this. And again, same earning, 66 bucks. But at my actual residential rate of 14 cents per kilowatt hour, which I believe is the average in Virginia now, I pay $81 a month, $80.64 to run this machine, while only earning $65.69 in Bitcoin projected in mining profitability calculators. So in that way, I am not earning more than I'm burning. But if I'm going to run a space heater anyway, instead of that space heater costing me $80 a month, it's only costing me $15. But this is more expensive than a space heater. So you got to recoup that capital. Keep in mind, Bitcoin's normally trading around over $100,000 these days. A couple years ago, it was trading at like $10,000, $20,000 per coin. And so it's 5-10x depending on, you know, what historical price you want to use. So let's say I'm mining 60 bucks a month and Bitcoin 10x's again. Well, then in retrospect, I was mining over $600 a month to the point that this thing basically paid for itself in 1 month. The demand on these is going to rapidly increase because, you know, out of the box, my initial impressions is these are cool. These were officially priced at like $8.99, but you also have to add shipping and things like that. So you'll typically see this miner from resellers and just mining rig distributors for like $1,000, $1,100, $1,200. If Bitcoin goes nuts and goes to 150K and beyond per coin, these will quickly be selling for like $1,500. So I'm not trying to induce FOMO. I'm not trying to shill this. Just some things to keep in mind.
I know I look weird. I'm trying to get you close to this thing so you can hear it. Don't be making any ridiculous comments. I do it for the tube.
That's ridiculous.
So that was on the heater setting and it was pretty quiet. I just clicked over to the mining setting and the fan speed picked up. It's making more noise. Click the power button, bye. It was still drawing some sort of power because when I unplugged it from the plug, I don't know if you're able to hear that, but it definitely like kicked off. It was like, "Ew." Just plugged it in. It says hi. That's ramping up quick. So this spun all the way up to like 860 watts at the wall until the fan kicked on. After plugging this unit in, starting to stabilize. Getting about 800 watts and dropping here at the wall. Click the power button in the app. Turned it off. So it looks like no matter what, you're going to be pulling about 7 watts static here at the wall. If this device is plugged in and you have the power supply that's built into it switched to on, click the power button, comes up with an icon I was testing here. And it's probably going to have the same boot up here and spin up to 800 something watts and then start mining. What's interesting is I have it powered off in the app, but I clicked that screen on and then the power increased by only 1.5 watts, which I guess is just entirely driven by this display. I click the power button here inside the app, the button is now black, and now it says hi, and now we're probably going to start mining here. So power is increasing like we saw before. I'll let this spin up, and we're going to run through the mining setting here, which pretty much should just be full bore mining. Obviously it's still going to be a quiet miner, but not nearly as quiet as it's capable of being. This would be the setting you would probably use if it was just running in your garage and you don't care if it's a little loud. So I guess the power button is just only for the display. It's literally a display power button. It's not the actual power button for this device, which means that if you wanted to just truly turn it on and off, you'd reach under it right here and just click the power supply to the off position, which is just the opposite of whatever it's in if it's on. Inside my router, this is the device name that came up for this. So what I do is I'm just going to come in here and rename this to Canaan Mini 3, and then I'll always know what this device is on my local network. Just like the 3S, even when you get this IP address and you type it into your browser, you cannot access this miner like a normal mining rig. Which is a huge disappointment that they got rid of web GUI or graphic user interface access. So that's probably the first negative in this review. When you select the scroll setting from its display options, you can get it to scroll the data that's on it. I don't know why they don't just give you a straight option to show the real-time hash rate. I just want to click one of these buttons that says hash rate and it shows me the real-time hash rate. I don't want to see the time and then the IP address that, to be honest, is irrelevant because you don't even get a web interface for controlling this miner. And then I finally get the hash rate, which is the one thing that I actually want data on. Consistent power draw here at 770 watts at the wall. Currently mining at 27.5 terahash a second. And now it's back up to about 38, 39 terahash a second, which we've seen pretty consistently in our testing. I'm really happy to report that we're pulling about 770 watts at the wall, while outperforming the advertised hash rate, at least per the miner here, reported, I'll say approximately 39 terahash a second. So less power than advertised, more hash rate than advertised. That's all that you could ever ask for. Very happy to hear that. And again, that is on the mining setting. So try to listen very closely. I don't know if you're going to be able to pick this up. I'm going to click the heater setting. It's gotten much quieter. I'm not sure if you can pick that up, but it's gotten much quieter. It was already an acceptable noise level. Power draw dropped slightly. So we took our logo and we basically just gave it some more room around it. Let's see how that looks. Oh, wow. Looks terrible. Oh my gosh. After leaving it on the heater setting for a while on the high setting with super, you can see we're actually pulling more power on the setting while achieving a slightly lower hash rate of about 38 terahash a second. And this makes sense because the fans aren't running as fast. That means the chips are getting hotter and they're becoming less efficient. So you're sacrificing a little bit of efficiency for simply a quieter miner. But what happens when we click the night option? Fans ramped up, power plummeting. Looks like we're stabilizing. Pulling a steady 390, 395 watts here. It's using about half the power. And it's doing, as expected, about half the hash rate. This is so quiet on this setting. It's still putting out a little bit of passive heat. I love that it has all these options out of the box. And the first thing that stands out to me for the purpose and use of a device like this is the heater setting, where it's still pretty quiet, right? But I'm getting that full hash rate, and the likelihood of me breaking even on this becomes much more viable. So the only other thing that I want to know about, right, that we haven't completed in our initial testing is going to be the eco setting. I just clicked the eco setting and it got a lot quieter. 360 spin. Looking at the power draw after clicking the eco setting, it looks like it's just going to be a slightly bumped up version of the night setting, but it is very quiet. It is very quiet. Just going to put the icon back in there. That looks a lot better. So we ran through the mining profitability of this and the break-even projection, but what we haven't run through is solo mining. This is SoloLuck. It's a Bitcoin solo mining calculator that VoskCoin, our team, has built. Very proud of it. Our team killed it. And what it does, it breaks down in real time your odds to hit a block. So right now I have a 1 in 140,000 chance to hit a Bitcoin block every day with this, or 1 in 384 of these would hit a block statistically every year. If you hit that block, forget trying to break even on your $800. You're going to earn over 3.125 Bitcoin, which is the base block reward plus the transaction fees. Yeah, that's just worth well over $300,000. So for me personally, and I just connected this so these numbers aren't accurate, I'll be solo mining with this. I'm replacing an old space heater in the house with a Bitcoin miner, and I'm fine paying the electricity on that. And now I've got a real tangible shot at basically winning the Bitcoin lottery, all while decentralizing the Bitcoin network. And soon I'll be running my own node again, and I'll be running my own mining pool instance there, decentralizing Bitcoin further, doing my part. It's kind of like that meme. I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
All while chasing the block reward of 3+ Bitcoin, or over $300,000. Crazy. Heater on the eco setting here has gone up to about 515 watts and is mining at about 26.5 terahash a second. This is a sound level that I would never hear unless I'm sitting here making a video review about it.
Where do you buy one of these things anyway? So Canaan, the manufacturer, they also sell miners, but they're a bit weird with these new releases of these mini Bitcoin miners. They've been running Indiegogo campaigns. It's kind of like a Kickstarter, so they can be purchased there. I would recommend checking out a big supporter of the VoskCoin YouTube channel. That's going to be Coin Mining Central. We are an affiliate of theirs, and normally we've got code VoskCoin to save some coin. And if that doesn't work, check the video description and pinned comment to see if I can get a specific coupon code just for this miner. We've had a lot going on here at VoskCoin, between pulling in 600 amps of more power to expand our mining farm, some new mining buildings on the way, miners on the way, bit of traveling. It's been a bit crazy. I'm just trying to mine a Bitcoin. Forced pun aside, how's the Mini 3 been doing? Because I have a couple weeks of mining performance now. It's been flawless. We've left it in our living room. Adds a nice little bit of heat. I basically run it on like the low power mode consistently. I like how quiet it is. If you're doing literally anything, you'll never hear it. If you're sitting there in dead silence, you can pick up the noise, but it's not really bothersome. And for that low power consumption, to consistently be hashing around 29 terahash a second, hitting a best share of 34 billion on a solo mining pool, I got my fingers crossed this thing won't just warm up my living room, but it will warm up my wallet by maybe solving a Bitcoin block. And I'm still just so excited and eager to hopefully, maybe if I'm lucky, hit a Bitcoin block with the Canaan Mini 3, because its hash rate is pretty big for a mini Bitcoin miner, if you will, a home Bitcoin miner, giving me a solid chance per year, as far as I'm concerned, to actually solve a Bitcoin block. It would literally be turning like $1,000 into over $300,000. That would be a 300x. 300xing with Bitcoin. Otherwise, impossible in today's standard. Like, if you buy a Bitcoin, it's not going to 300x, so well, probably not. Market cap valuation wise, that doesn't make sense. Unless maybe the entire world only used Bitcoin.
Hey, I'm Vosk here on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. This was our Canaan Mini 3 review. This is a very cool product, and I appreciate the opportunity to make these videos every day, to get stuff like this into review. And while I may be spending a lot more of my time and money building my own major Bitcoin mining farm, I love mini Bitcoin miners like the Nano 3S and the BitAxis, and now something like the Mini 3 is a very cool in between. And if you say, I want a little Bitcoin mining exposure and my living room's cold, well, congratulations. There's now a perfect, purpose-built Bitcoin miner for that. We haven't seen a mini Bitcoin miner of this style since the Bitcoin home miners that Antminer had made back in like 2016, I think. But they didn't stick with that, and that was a shame because there are thousands of mini Bitcoin miners being sold every month right now. Are you going to be the next one? If you are, please use our links to support the channel, and please support yourself with our coupon codes that we have campaigned for with multiple manufacturers and sellers. All that stuff down below. Subscribe. We're putting out content every day. I'm going to document my crazy crypto journey, building a mining farm, how it's going, the highs and the lows, and trying to review all the cool stuff I find out about along the way. As always, we close it out in style with 10 seconds of tails.